OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kiev Major. It is our first round best of 3 matchup between OG and SG Esports. We are here, ready into the draft. Super excited to be joining you for game number 2. My name is Mont. With me is Trent Pax. And Trent, let me tell you, after game number 1, Brazil and all of South America is out in force, Trent. It's absolutely fantastic for SG Esports.
Yeah, everyone's kind of losing their mind in terms of the match. Social media, again, we talk about that pressure and the low expectations that are there for SG Esports. So, they don't really have anything going on for them. The pressure of OG to perform well and get things done. And wow, look at this self-respect for the hero from SG Esports. When not having the first pick, they're actually going to ban out that Clockwork themselves. Not willing to deal with that. So I don't know, guys. Well, we're gonna have to watch that guy throughout the tournament. We'll see if there's many other teams take stock in it. But I was just checking out the mainstream in terms of the panel and whatnot that was going on,
Right.
and I thought they made an interesting point about the Swiss format. And that was the idea of coaches and the impact they can have, because I believe it was SG Esports who were making a couple statements on social media about the idea of like not being able to afford a coach to come to the major, right? And this and Valve only paying for so many people to come and whatnot, but OG, of course, very well known for their coach, Mad. Exceptional player, always in the top games in terms of like pub games and whatnot. And a lot of their victories, they'll often credit Mad, and they'll just say just how much he helps them and what he brings to the table as a coach. But Swiss format, when they got to know about SG Esports, so they're prepared for these guys. But when it comes to that next round matchup, you have no idea who you're going to play, and it is more difficult for these coaches to actually have an impact in a situation like that. So. If OG do end up going down here, like there's that's one series down already, and then they've already lost some of that value that's been put in their coach. So in terms of these like breaks in between the games too, you can guys already see, like if you're watching any of the other feeds or anything going on, the players are relentlessly going through these replays, and that's why we have this little bit of downtime, because they want to go right through the game that just happened, spot these things from their opponents, and try and pick up on what went wrong. But one thing that didn't go wrong seems to have been the Monkey King for OG.
No, it worked out pretty well. He definitely got caught a couple of times through no fault of his own, but Monkey King definitely did some work that last game. I will say, going back to the coach thing real quick, I do think that now more than ever, those quick adjustments are important. So it's about what kind of adjustments can they get in the small amount of time that they have to go through games and things of that nature. However, we'll move on. We'll talk more about SG Esports' draft, and Treant Protector has been, well, not only Treant, but Legion. These are two of the most popular heroes right now. Legion's been picked a ton in the previous couple of tournaments that have been happening, and then of course Treant's been banned out a lot in the EU scene as well. And Trent, both of these together, very strong two heroes. Yeah.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
A living armor, so already very beefy. In terms of counters, of course, we always talk about the heals, but for cores, like TA is probably the biggest one. So we'll see if SG Esports either decide to maybe snag it up for themselves, or we'll ban it out here, because the refractions are pretty much your best option up against that blade mail.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case here. In the meantime, OG will pick up the Enigma for themselves. More than likely putting the offlane for S4, as we've seen him do a lot of times going back to the past couple of tournaments, Trent. And we saw what it could do for Tavo. He had a pretty great game. He got involved earlier on. He started pushing out towers. He had a couple of excellent 2 to 3 man black holes here and there. He was getting shut down in the mid game, but then he ended up getting that refresher too. And I got to say, he made that look pretty impressive. So OG, they know the power of this Enigma, and this time they'll pick it up for themselves.
Yeah, we'll have to see if
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's pretty locked in.
Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban.
She's just a comfort pick, and she's been picked so often by all these teams that it's not a surprise. I'm still surprised we haven't seen Rubik touch at all. I think we talked about the hero that was most picked, and I believe that was one of the heroes that you mentioned, Trent, was Rubik, especially with a team like OG. So they have the opportunity to pick it, assuming SG don't go for it themselves, or we might just see it go by the wayside. Although I do think SG going Rubik is not a bad idea. I don't know. Against Enigma, it seems pretty good, but I'm not sure how you feel about the Rubik pick this game for SG.
Yeah, I could definitely see it coming out here for SG Sports. I think that's more likely. I think OG are one of the teams that are the least likely to pick Rubik out of everyone just because of the versatility of Fly. Like they have these picks that are just quite a bit different. You know, the Shadow Shaman, the Visage, so they don't want to limit him into a more standard kind of thing or even reveal his hero too early. Like it's nice in a way that although most teams seem punished by the fact you have to pick up a 4 early, Jerax is just so good on the top meta ones in the Monkey King and the Earth Spirit that the fact that they can just get him this hero and he's so god tier that even if you have a full draft to counter it, he still gets so much done.
Yeah.
Other teams suffer from that because the 4 players tend to be the best player, but they also tend to have these more versatile picks maybe. Like some guys are really good at Kunkka, perhaps, or that position 4 Bat Rider. But when you can hold your 5 so late in the draft by allowing S4 to just take his hero early as well, it's pretty cool to see what they can do with Fly. It almost worked out last game with the Shadow Shaman in terms of like the rat split push and stuff, and I'm being a little bit of a different hero, but
That's an Ember Spirit pick. Interestingly, pretty early on too. So Ember picked up pretty early here. Obviously very good, going for the magic damage builds most of the time. Actually, the majority of the time, I think, in pro Dota games recently. So he's still very strong. He's kind of not as good as he once was with some of the nerfs that have sort of hit his talents, among other things. But pretty good pickup here for SG Esports, and also a pretty common hero to see, especially in the South American region.
Yep, not too bad. Relatively weak lockdown from OG so far. You know, you'd have to use the Black Hole or the Boundless Strike or something to really get a hold on that Ember Spirit. We'll have to see how much help he gets mid, though. Just the earlier parts, if Monkey King decides to just come and camp his butt down, could run into some trouble, especially with Trait Protectors often not wanting to take Living Armor too early on. Plus, it doesn't really help you that much when you're up against a Monkey King, right? Like,
yeah.
You get Living Armored, and this guy still gets all these stacks on you.
Yeah, it's not fun. Monkey King, the range, everything about him. I mean, we've talked about him a lot, Trent. He's the top pick in, I think I would say the top, if not, one of the top picks, if not the top pick in this current meta for a reason. He's very strong. You saw the Courier Snipe early on in the game. I mean, it's just he's got so much to work with here for the Monkey King. We've already talked about Drax at length. But now we're moving forward. We're looking into the next OG pick here. Perhaps maybe support. They'll probably want to maybe save their mid for a little bit later, but I'm not sure now that Ember Spirit is already out for SG, so. Yeah.
And I don't know if they're really that willing to go deep there. That would be a little bit interesting, but this is the other hero they picked in that same game, actually, was a Disruptor there for Fly. So pretty common stuff up against the Ember Spirit, right? Generally considered to be one of the better counters that are available. Legion, also a stationary target, so can be kind of handy with the glimpse as well as the Stack Storm to get some combos going.
A squishier hero to be sure. If he gets jumped on by that Ember Spirit and Legion Commander, he could die very quickly. But you talked about positioning. The silence, obviously very good. So one way to get some more lockdown or at least get some more positioning in your favor is grab the Disruptor. So we're still waiting on now a mid laner and a safe laner for OG, waiting for those last two to get picked. We just saw the Ana Arc Warden. I don't think we'll see that again, Trent. Do you think there's a possibility it comes out for OG here?
I mean, I'm not counting out Arc Warden at this point.
I guess that's true.
Pretty good.
Yeah, right.
That was a little bit scary, that game. So I don't know. Maybe OG will mix up. They're a team that tends to, at least in the past, go for different strats. Especially if they lose a game. So in that IG Grand Final where they lost 3-0, they actually went with 3 different openers, which is kind of crazy. A lot of teams kind of get stuck in the same thing, but they went Monkey King Ember, then they went Enigma Jug, and then they went Alchemist Terrorblade. So this is another little bit of a different look.
Yeah.
So heading in towards a Naga Siren here.
We've talked about, and I'm kind of interested in the silence as well. You, me, Sunsfan, when we were doing the last tournament we did, we talked about the silencer, and Sunsfan believed that the Enigma, the Black Hole, the global silence was not a direct counter to Enigma and Black Hole. In that game, it did some serious work, and I think there's the potential for it to be a nuisance. But talk to me about the silencer pick here, Trent.
Reserve time.
Good. It's much like Bat Rider, right? When we're going in for this whole idea of the Legion Commander and the lasso, it's just global silence lasso can be very helpful to make sure no one interrupts. I am concerned just to make sure. I hope they ban TA. I still feel like TA is kind of good. Maybe you're a little.
Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The dangerous thing is the silencer, if he doesn't get caught, though, against Black Hole, very good, but Static Storm is still going to be a nuisance. So they pretty much, I don't know if they have to find the silencer, but it would certainly help their team fight for OG if they do with the song or whatever spell they find it with initially. So
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And it's not like they do have an elusive support in themselves. They ban out the Pugna. They pick up the OD.
Okay, very safe mid hero. Dumpsters on Ember Spirit, and so Ember is just going to have an awful time. I mean, he's Radiant, so he has those camps to go towards on his side that are a little bit closer to the lane.
Safe lane theoretically.
Yeah, there is the potential, and I'm sure that's why they banned the Pugna, because they probably would have picked Pugna and sent that mid. We've seen that a couple times now from teams. Someone who can actually abuse the range of OD that's relatively short, and if he tries to move in for an Astral Imprisonment, you just throw a Nether Blast on him.
Not fun. It is the Morphling instead, so they'll double down. They will keep the Ember Spirit safe lane, more than mid lane, excuse me, more than likely, and then I'll have the Morphling picked up as well. So this is going to be a hard farming game. You know, last game was the same thing with the Arc Ward and the Slark. There is some potential for big team fights, a lot of burst damage from both sides, but we'll see.
This is a little bit scary, I gotta say. I mean, if there's anything that can catch out an Ember Spirit and a Morphling, two people that are supposed to be very slippery, you know, the second that you feel like you're in danger, your Linken's pops, right? You immediately press Return to Remnant, or you use your duplicate, and you're just out of there on the Replicate. But Enigma and Disruptor are two of the only heroes that can counter that out so easily, right? They just, you know, Static Storm does not care about Linken's. Black Hole does not care about Linken's. And if they're both coming out of a song, you have no way to stop that. So it's all on the silencer, you know. if he's caught, they're in big trouble. I mean, even if he's caught inside the song, let alone inside the Static Storm or the Black Hole, they could be running into some problems. Like, that Static Storm will still be down. You could pop Global after. Maybe you'll stop the Black Hole, but Static Storm is not going to care.
Yeah, this is a dangerous position to be in, just to have your silencer have that much emphasis put on him in this game. Well, let me ask you about laning, though. We already talked about the Outworld Devourer against Ember Spirit. There's a Monkey King in the game. Do you think OG has the advantage here in terms of the early laning phase?
Watching the tree and seeing the rotations there, I think that will be the most important thing in the laning phase. I want to see his build. Again, we've seen a lot of different stuff coming out lately. We've had like the... like 3-2 builds, and then 0-0, like no points limiting armor early on. We've seen 3-1-1, probably the most common one, I would guess, in a game like this. So we'll have to see.
What did we see the other day in terms of itemization? Was it Solar Crest potentially?
Yeah.
I can't.
It was the Solar Crest for sure. It was actually crazy how much damage he does.
How much damage he did? Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
It's kind of dirty,
but he crushed it. It was like might have been Axma or somebody in one of the EU qualifiers we did, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the amount of damage you punch for, you already hit with Hammer Fist for the Tree and Protector. Let's not kid around. All right, this hero still does a ton of damage. When you get a Solar Crest to add into that, Jesus.
Yep. And Solar Crest is a very important item right now in the current meta too. Just again, just the importance of Rosh. We talk about it a lot in all these matches, but often it is what it comes down to. So having someone that builds into it so naturally is very helpful for your team.
All right, well, already there is a deep ward placed by the Radiant here towards this Bounty Rune area. Meanwhile, heading up, King RD close by. Detection is available for Fly if he wants to drop it, as well as the Monkey King, but King RD behind enemy lines. And he will Nature's Guys again. I don't know if he was spotted. It looks like there was a ping that came out from the Monkey King from Jarek, so they should know something's up. By the way, talking to some of the Brazilian commentators, some of the casters, Cat, a very good in-game leader. Sometimes they say that he is a couple of struggles here and there in terms of, you know, participating in team fights, getting much done. He does often play that hard 5 support, so it's hard to look really good in that position. And so this game is really going to test his ability to be involved in these team fights and sort of coordinate everything while it's all happening. Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, if there's one hero that's good at that, though, it's definitely Silencer. You can just not be there, you know? You're on the other side of the map. You're just like, all right, guys, I will be alive. I'm top. Good luck. Yep. I have my R button. Just call for it.
My finger, like, that's all my finger's going to do this game. I have one finger assigned to just hover over this R button. The second I hit 6, it will always be there for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much his life.
We'll keep our eyes here. Meanwhile, though, starting out in the jungle, as Tavo did last game, S4 will be picking up the Enigma. Eidolon's already ready. Treant Protector looking for a Courier, but they won't get caught by the same mistake.
Walks
Courier
past the tree.
Yeah,
went too far out.
Yeah, unfortunate. We'll see how things do transpire here in this early game. ADR getting some last hits, but Ana, as he gets levels here, this is going to be a tougher lane. Top lane, they'll find Tavo. He's already skilled overwhelming odds. He has a TP scroll, and they're just going to back away. They won't go for this. They don't have anything skilled up yet. Tavo's still trying to bait something out. He knows that he's, like, kind of fine here. Like, he's just running it fly. I don't know if they have a way to kill him early on in this game. He's pretty tanky.
Yeah, he doesn't have boots yet, though, so he needs to be careful because Jax, again, hasn't skilled, as he said. So this is what you do on Monkey King when you think you're going to have a chance to get Jingu early and just zone out this offlaner. So if they hit a single stun...
The Benny Hill music is playing. The clown shoes are on. It's working out pretty well for him. We'll keep our eyes peeled in this top lane.
Oh, he went for it. Take the Jingu. He's like, yeah, I want those 3 hits.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is the best stuff. You guys seen this? This is dirty. And you can, like, walk under the tower, too. Like, so this offlaner is done. This is Monkey King. Welcome to the hero.
Well, at least they keep the Monkey King.
Oh, let me just do it again. Like, what are you going to do? This is your life now.
Right. But again, at least they keep
let me just turn into a tree. It's so fine, though. This is, like, your big pick. This is your Legion commander, and he's shut out by your 4.
Good point. So what's plan B, then, for Tavo here? Buy an Iron Talon, perhaps jungle it up? It looks like that's going to be... Well, he has the Quelling Blade queued up, so that might be the case.
Yeah, pretty much going to try and abuse that. And again, maybe get a little bit of help from this Treant Protector. And see what he's going to do. So far, King RD, not going too well. He's got a little bit of experience here, just soaking some up. But S4 is over in this camp. They have the vision on him, so they know he's there. So King RD said, yeah, I'm going to do something else with my life. Not just going to worry about this Enigma the whole time. Maybe he's going to come top and try and help there with this Invis rune.
So the lane's looking pretty good for OG right now, but you're still getting good farm for both, obviously. Your Morphling and your Ember Spirit. King RD walking through mid. No detection, no sentries down. He just kind of has a drive-by, says, hey, what's up? See you later. And Tavo again. There's going to be a lot more farm coming up for the Enigma, and especially if he dies. There's going to be the Kinetic Field as well. Do they have the Boundless Strike? They do not. Overwhelming odds. Body blocks, not enough. To glimpse back might be. Tavo will try to juke to the north, and there's the Boundless Strike securing First Blood. Good luck laning there, my friend. Meanwhile, Enigma getting caught. Arcane Curse coming out, but King RD can't quite get there for the good old bash. So again, very tough lane for Tavo top.
Yep, that's all they needed was the early net skill on No-Tail. Not exactly the thing that Naga players love to do, but required for the lane when you have a Disruptor. Not that good hard lockdown. Can't really guarantee a kinetic field every time, but with the net, this lane's over. You can't come back if Monkey King's here. So into the jungle he will go with his Quelling Blade.
So S4 in terms of experience and farm is going to be getting a considerable amount more than Tavo. He's already TPing down towards this bottom jungle into the tower if he wants to find some experience there, which the wave's pushing in, so potentially he can get something here. And yeah, Tavo's just relegated to the jungle now, man. And he does not want to be there, unlike S4. He's like, get me out. Help. But there's not much they can do.
Yeah, S4 is going to be doubling his net worth soon with these arcane boots and then moving back into the jungle. He's going to get his 4-minute bounty rune, and he can head back over to the northern side.
Well, again, you still at least have your Morphling farming well, and as expected, the Ember Spirit's starting to slow down a little bit, but they're about even in that mid lane. And yes, you do have a bit more room. You can get experience top with this Treant Protector, but he's really not finding too much. So not a whole lot of farm between SG's supports or just in general. Searing Chain's coming out. ADR does not have Flame Guard, but does do a lot of damage to Ana, who only has 1 bottle charge. 4-minute rune already taken, looks like. So, okay. Or not. ADR finds himself a DD. Oh, that's pretty nice.
I'll tell you, S4's finding everything, though. He gets that wave that shows up to his tower, then he's just going to try and peck away at some Ancients with the Xylons while he waits for the next one.
Gonna get so farmed.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good time.
Get that Midas if he really wants it. You talked about the Midas itemization for S4. If he wants it, he'll go for it. I'm pretty sure he will. Meanwhile, though, you do have the last word coming out. Cat can't really fight into the Eidolons. Here we go.
Look at that reach.
Jump in, though. Have the Leech Seed to come out as well, but it looks like Cat will fall. The Boundless Strike to secure the kill. OG run in. The Malphite setting it all up, and it's just that easy. And King RD might now die as well. He's got the Nature's Guise, but the fade time is considerable. I believe King RD might just be dead here. He'll buy boots and imagine, or rather a TP scroll. They'll try to turn around. Here comes the Morphling. Malphite is coming in, and well, Waveform's up, but he does not find the waveform to the lip of the high ground. Jirax is going to get turned on. HFN just kind of missing out on some farm just to get some harass on Jirax, as well as S4. So not a great start. Very good stuff, though, for OG on the other side. So
it's unbelievable, man. You look at the range, like, think about the cumulative range that Monkey King has. You look at the range of Tree Dance, and then the range of Boundless Strike, and the range of Primal Spring. Like, he got to that hero, so he was just there. Look at that. He's just heading back home to the shrine.
I mean, not even mentioning the range of his auto attacks.
Yeah, so. Like, you got, yeah, there you go. You guys thought Earth Spirit was annoying. At least you have to hit the roll as Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
This hero is like a point-and-click adventure.
Monkey King already, as expected at the Kiev Major, having a pretty grand showing in the early game. And it'll only get worse as the game progresses for SG if they're not careful. ADR trying to fight. Boundless Strike is there. ADR stayed way too long. The Flame Guard not doing nearly enough. And he just overextends and dies. So, okay. OG will take that kill. And they're finally starting to get some room for Tavo top lane, but they're starting to get pretty far down. We saw this exact same thing in Game 1 for SG, and now it's OG with a 2,000 net worth advantage. And they're showing you exactly why they're one of the best teams in the world. Leech will come out, Fly will go for the kinetic field, and one more auto attack. It's not going to be enough to bring him down. He will stay alive. The kinetic field doing some serious work, and now everybody rotating over, including No Tail. He's got the ensnare ready. He will use it onto King RD. And I believe this is a dead Treant, and Tavo's like, you're on your own, buddy. He'll press the attack. Boundless Strike actually misses, and now they'll turn their attention to Tavo. They do have the Primal Spring. They will use it. King RD pops the leech seed, but again, Jirax has more than enough damage coming out with the Jingu Mastery up to get the kill. They're diving. They have Snare as well. No Tail coming in as the Riptide. Tavo, roaming odds will go. They cancel the TP elsewhere, and Tavo, he has 6 stick charges. Another one coming in. This time it's back to the Treant. King RD, he's got the leech seed. He'll go for No Tail. This would be a huge kill if they can find it, but Tavo is so low. The Riptide almost bringing him down, and he should stay alive. Again, 8 stick charges, but there's the Boundless Strike.
Greed.
Sniped.
Oh, so greedy, holding those stick charges for so long. He's like, no, I got this, man. You know,
fine. The Monkey King's already
I'm gonna
gone.
fountain up. It'll be okay. I want to hold these for my lane. And OG saying, yeah, we remember Game 1. You know, you guys were up like 5-0 or something like that. How about 6-0?
Yeah, man, these early
here.
games have been pretty one-sided. As you mentioned, it's kind of nuts. But again, at least you still have HFN farming pretty well. But look at the next 4 heroes for OG. My goodness, that is considerable. Jesus. Okay, well, 6-0 is the score. They're going to look for top. No Tail. She's just going to get pushed back by Tavo and King RD. The experience as well. King RD is level 2. His experience is not great.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a hard time. You can see mid lane, though, a little bit of experience with the Silencer. Of course, very important to this guy, trying to get up to level 6. And this is a result of having an OD versus an Ember. We talk about this all the time, but you kind of have to go to the jungle. Like, you can send this range support mid. It's fine. At least he can get experience and won't get fully zoned out by the OD. But this is something Jirax is looking to punish. But your Ember Spirit just ends up in the jungle like this because he can't hit the wave mid.
Well, he does get the D ward off. He does have the armor as well. Arcane Curse will come out. The last word is there as well, but the Boundless Strike is up, and King RD is nowhere near being able to get off a Leech Seed to slow up Anna. So at least he got the ward, man.
Yeah. Not having the early game impact of the Treant at once, though. And with new Treant and the way that this guys works, I would say this is your most important part of the game. Like, this is where you really want to be applying that pressure and getting stuff done. And Legion Commander is one of the stronger offlaners to try and help that with. But the fact that you have this Monkey King, it just made it so difficult.
Yeah, this game, the Monkey King is.
I mean, it's at the same level. Like, I mean, he's about to be 6 on Tavo, you know, but Jirax is he's doing fairly well here, I'd say.
He's owning. He's doing exactly what you would expect of a Monkey King with a roaming hero, and not only that, but again, as I mentioned, you get that basher. Yeah, he's insane. Boundless Strike will come out, but they do have both press the attack as well as the living armor, so he will survive. But again, it's not really enough for Tavo just to survive. I'm sure he would like some semblance of farm.
Crazy. At least he'll have phase boots now for the Legion Commander, so that gets a little bit more difficult for the Monkey King to do. But that means we're on the train for the Blink Dagger, and that's going to be one of the bigger items for the side of the Radiant because they need somebody to try and help this Ember get things going. He's building it towards that Veil. Overall, his farm's honestly not too bad. He's only like 200 gold behind an OD, so impressive stuff from 4DR. It'll be on him and Tavo to sync up and really try and get this early game going with that Veil and then the level 10 talent for the Ember Spirit, and perhaps with a little bit of help from that living armor.
We haven't talked much about the Morphling or the Naga's impact in this game. Morphling, again, top of the net worth. Also, pretty high up is S4, who is, in fact, building that Midas as previously expected, which is now flying out now.
Not
And then,
shabby.
Yeah.
Top
they're
farmer
doing
on his team.
really well. And Anna's not far behind either, also building a Midas with double null tally treads. Really a big fan of the treads. Sometimes you'll see them go Midas without the treads on Outworld Devour. And a lot of people have talked about it. Treads, pretty solid pickup for him. Just to be a bit tankier, attack speed, everything that you really need. They will smoke up in the meantime on the Dire, or rather the Radiant side for SG, and they will head towards top. They're really far apart. King RD not near ADR, who is looking for this Monkey King. They'll try to jump on him. Wukong's command is going to come out. There's the Boundless Strike. ADR might fall to this. The Remnant is there. Malphite to come through. Black Hole just on the edge. S4 will get it done. Not the best trade coming out from ADR there. And S4, first Black Hole, it works out for him.
Damn, he had one Remnant left, too. That was a pretty bold play there from S4, but gets it done. And after just picking up Midas, he now owns his 900 gold, and will even grab a kill onto Fly. It's exploded by HFN, so
yeah.
This was the dream for just a moment there.
Yeah. Not quite. 2-8 the score. A bit of recovery. I mean, again, they will lose their Ember Spirit, which is a big deal, but getting more farm for their morphing is absolutely what they need right now. They're giving more room for Tavo. They give mid experience to QRD, so he's up to level 4. It is still a considerable lead, about 3K, 3.5K net worth advantage for OG, and experience is about the same. But there's a long way to go for SG Trent.
Yeah, again, 40 air, Legion Commander, who we have to look for. What was the bounty on that? 635? Not too shabby. So he is almost into the Veil. In fact, it's done now, so it'll be flying out to him. And we still have to find a way to get Tavo involved, though. He's not going to Blink Dagger for a while. I guess we'll just have to hope that he can get a Searing Chains off, and then that'll help close the gap with the Phase Boots. But targets aren't too easy. There's a save from the OD if he's nearby. That might be able to help someone out. The quick rotations of Jerax, and we talked about before the idea of just like the defensiveness of OG and how often they're participating in kills and stuff from Gorgon's analysis. So you always got to watch out for these rotations to come through.
Yeah. They'll fight with everybody if they can, if it's the best option for them. And then they're staying together pretty well as well. Do they take that tower? It gets denied by Anna, so you could TP in from there. The scan just catches out on Jerax as he's walking through. Dire scan came in. I'm not sure where it was. I actually missed it, and I don't know if it's successful. They are chasing after bottom.
Smoking without the Black Hole. Just going to have to rely on the Static Storm here.
He has like no mana. He is about to get caught. They need an Astral. Boundless Strike range is there, and the Global Silence will come out. And now they might think about leaving. Veil is up. They're looking for Fly. Can he get off the Static Storm? He can, but he will still fall. The Wukong's command coming out. Again, S4 doesn't have that Black Hole. Anna getting pretty low. The overwhelming odds is there. One more auto attack. They'll turn it around and get 2 pickups here for SG Esports. Jerax is out. He has a TP scroll, and S4 is just going to walk right back home.
Yeah, and that's the importance, too, of just helping Cat get some of those levels nice and early with that mid. It guarantees that he will be 6. Like, sometimes when you have this really greedy Morphling, as well as this Ember Spirit, you can fall behind on the supports, but everyone in the game so far, except for the Tree Protectors character, is just about to get it. So we're all at level 6 now. The ultis are here and available. So great return there from the side of SG Esports.
Yeah, I mean, it just, right when you said that Veil was coming out, you're absolutely right, it did, and ADR just came through and just cleaned house. They were not expecting it. Glimpse back into HFN, however. He is in a mighty amount of trouble. Jingu Mastery, Boundless Strike, he is very tanky. He has enough away for him. And we'll see if he can make it out. Again, Boundless Strike back up in 19. Primal Spring is ready in a moment. Kinetic Field, again, will connect. TPs will come through. HFN is just trying to juke and jive every way he can. Malphite, they will secure the kill. He was too far up. Even with that ward there, it's just not enough to keep him alive. So very big pick as Jerax, again, back on the board with another kill.
Yeah, TPs were still on cooldown for the Ember Spirit as well as the Legion Commander, even if they had them, like Legion Victoria, but it was still on CD, so nothing really they could do there. I was wondering why it was taking so long for them to actually rotate, but it was only Cat who could come in there at the last moment. So good stuff there from OG. They do get the punish this time, and immediately they want to keep that aggression. Remember, they have Black Hole back now. They haven't used it in a little while, but 40R is juking and jiving.
Yeah, he might go back mid if he's not careful, but I think they have an understanding that there's some heroes in the jungle. Jerax is very deep.
Hunt.
He's cutting off the path of retreat. ADR doesn't see him, I think. ADR trying to get out. No, now he heads behind the tier 1 tower mid. There's still some heroes nearby. Fly coming through. Oh, there's the Boundless Strike. The Glimpse back. The Static Storm is up as well. This should be a dead hero. No way to save him. Veil comes out in time. Mech is there. Tavo deciding not to go for the duel. Primal Spring is up. Replicate. And they will just lose the 1. Replicate will fall instantly. They've rotated everyone with the exception of No Tail, who is getting a lot of farm.
Yeah,
on
just
this
look at the
Dynasty Siren.
space they're making. Like, they're pushing in so deep here, side of OD, or OG, with their OD. But they have those Midases going, and No Tail's just farming the entire time, so... heading to the later stages, we will have, of course, the replicate shenanigans. You can use this Morphling. You can copy that Naga illusion. But you know what? It's only one. And No Tail, he's going to have a couple more. So it's still not exactly the best answer. This Naga Siren taking over your entire map. We'll have the Lincoln Sphere here soon. Mostly for the stats. I mean, pretty good against the Glimpse as well as the OD perhaps banishing you. But other than that, not too clutch.
That's done. That range, Jirax is just, again, all over the map, dropping wards, getting vision, doing what he needs to do. He's got a phase, he's got to earn. And not quite the first game for SG Esports, is it, Trent?
No, certainly not. But Tavo's looking to change that now. He has the Blink Dagger, so they'll fly that out, probably go for a smoke play with the Entangle, as well as the Ember Spirit. See if they can push out these lanes and try and get a kill, try and get some vision down that dire jungle, because now it's just Legion's game to kill. She just non-stop wants to be getting dual damage, buffing herself up here.
Fly,
and
down
Fly,
bottom.
yeah.
Searing Chains, Glimpse out, and a Remnant back in, perfectly timed from ADR. That's the one downside when you're dealing with an Ember Spirit. If he gets his Remnant off in time, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Oh, Disruptor's only a counter to a certain extent, and mostly it depends on your ulti. But now it's King RD in behind here with the Invis.
They don't go for the Overgrowth. He thought about it.
They need so much damage. They probably need Ember.
Yeah. Or the Morphling we just picked up his Lincoln Sphere. Tree on top of tree, by the way, which is always fun to watch.
And it's so obvious that you're doing this when your Legion does this. Like, if your Legion just stands in the wave like this, clearly they want to do something, you know?
Yeah.
So No Tail just stay there.
So not finding too much. They're starting to split up the map a bit more, maybe take back a certain amount of map control. But No Tail about to be spotted here momentarily. They just see him, the vision from the tree end. But again, they're very far away from each other. No real ease of access as that tier 1 tower mid is still alive, and obviously the tier 1 tower top too. So very tough to invade this jungle, and King RD is really the only one that could be in here, unless he gets
Fly.
and he's dead.
He's on the pulse here.
Yeah, he
got that
Meanwhile, top
sentry.
lane, Wukong's command, Tabo trying to make it out. He doesn't have his blink still. It hasn't flown out to him yet. Finally will. Curry needs to be a bit careful, but...
Oh,
wait.
Curry?
No, yeah, hello. There it is. Fly. Oh, King RD. I believe you've been spotted, my friend. Overgrowth to come through. King RD needs to get out. Remnant's out. Maybe they want to fight this. Fly's going to get caught. Static Storm is available. Cannot get it off in time. Tabo looking for a dual overwhelming odds. Can he find this kill? Looks like no. Jirax is just too speedy into the trees. And now, OG will counteract by saying, hey, we'll go mid. We'll take your tier 1 tower. Let's see if we can't trade here.
Yeah, of course, would be favorable for OG. I'd rather take down the mid. At the very least, we'll be knocking out some of that farming area for the Naga Siren. But Radiant Glyph dropped. Dire Glyph still available.
Overgrowth not available. They already used the living armor. King RD has rotated in. No Tail has been spotted, I believe. Meanwhile, Arcane Curse comes out and they'll push him back. Meanwhile, top lane is still up there is ADR. Jirax is sitting in the tree line. He wants to take this down, but there might be some TP rotations. And looks like there is going to be just that. ADR has Remnant. Looks like, oh, he doesn't use it in time. Malphus, Remnant's out. Won't be able to get off that black hole. They did have it, but it's just not in time. Still getting chased down, though. He's got another Remnant to work with. Instead, he's going to turn. Looking for Jirax. They've got the Jigu Mastery. Mech comes out. They have the glimpse back into the Static Storm. Sleight of Fist, perfectly done. ADR, nice job there. Still might get caught. Jirax pretty low. No more Boundless Strike. No more Wukong's command, but he's out of mana.
They don't have the black hole.
Sanity's Eclipse. They won't use it. He thinks about it. Kinetic Field. He makes it. No. He's still caught. They're diving deep. TP rotations are not there. Sanity's will come out. It's a lot of room to be made for this Morphling, but again, losing your Ember Spirit, not the best thing there for SG Esports.
Those were some pretty stellar plays, though.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Pretty nice.
Damn, dude. But this game, it will be Jirax hopping in towards that medallion, so a little bit of help with the Roche. We often talk about OD, and wanting to get this Roche around this mark, around the 20-22 minute mark. You want to get this on your OD. You want to start pressuring down these towers. So anyone that can help you do that is going to be quite the plus for your team.
That's a D-ward. Kieran's like, finally, I get some farm. Woo! He's going Midas, by the way, which we've seen a fair bit recently for this Treant Protector. Meantime,
yeah, I've almost seen like less Midas than I expected on this hero. I was kind of feeling like he'd be because that Aghanim Scepter. I mean, obviously, just transforms the hero into something so ridiculous. But in a game like this, when you know it's going the distance, almost guaranteed, it's Morphling versus Naga. The chat's throwing at the resident sleepers. We know what's happening. So get the Midas.
We
get
know
your
where the game's
Aghanims.
at.
Yeah, like
if chat knows, King RD 100% knows, and the Brazilian legend himself, he'll be on his way to get some extra gold later on down the line. In terms of his talents, we'll see what he decides to go for. But he also may be able to look at that 90 gold permitted if he wants it. But there's obviously the 25 movement speed as well. Tier 1 tower bottom getting pushed into by S4. Eidolon's Midas, Guardian Greaves done. Working into an Dream Core now. Meanwhile, they will find somebody. It's a global coming out. They're going to get Jerax, and the duel will come through, and it's the first victory of the game for Tavo. In fact, the first duel of the game. Meantime, HFN is pushing mid. Replicate is not available. He doesn't have waveform either. He needs to be careful, and he will make it out in time. So now SG Esports doing a very good job of splitting up the map and sort of getting this back a little more even, as you can see with the net worth graph, Trent. 4,000, obviously still in OG's favor, but not quite the big lead they had earlier on in the game.
Yeah, we are into, of course, the scary Radiant stuff now. The game changes a little bit. The map starts to shrink on your side, so they need to keep that momentum going. I mean, it has to be duel after duel after duel. You know, it's Bat Rider, it's Faceless Void, it's Legion Commander. It's all about just keeping yourself on the clock and trying to pace your team as fast as possible. And in terms of cooldowns, they don't have many other huge ones to worry about. Like the Global Silence, yes, that one's pretty scary. But in terms of like working with an Ember and a Legion Commander, like your burst is so quick that you don't necessarily need the Global Silence every single time. It's more so when you're going for those riskier ones where you know there might be a couple other heroes nearby, but you're not going to have to global every single time here. No-Tail kind of shadowing mid a little bit here with Jerax nearby.
They're thinking about it potentially. They're sort of grouping up now if they want to go for a smoke or a play. Oh, but it looks like King RD might just get enough vision here. We'll see if he stays.
So what do they see? They see Jerax. You see the ping come out right away from tree. It's like, okay.
I think they know, they know something's happening mid, so they do the right thing and they sort of, smoke is going to go and King RD will not see them until, well, it might break for Jerax. And it is going to. They won't see each other. But King RD's fate time not quite there yet. Just gets out in time. They missed the stun. Can he make it away? The overgrowth as he's in the trees. King RD needs a TP here, but it's not going to be easy. He's got to go for it now.
This is a tough
Dust will go, and I think they might find him.
Oh, they saw him.
Primal Spring comes out. King RD, a lot of time wasted, but it will be a kill, and No-Tail should be picking it up. It is Fly that does get the last hit, but No-Tail involved, and already working into his boots of travel.
I mean, honestly, though, that's a smoke that's looking for an Ember or a Morphling or a Legion or something. So the fact that they don't even get into your
territory... Well, they might find it anyways. We'll get off the sled if it's steering chains. They're going to jump in Song of the Siren. They don't catch him with the Primal Spring. Now they will. They are deep. Wukong's command will come out as well, and it looks like Tavo should fall. Overwhelming odds. Man, he got absolutely incinerated. He just melted. Destroyed.
Yeah, the area denial of this OG draft is just absolutely insane. Like, their ultimates are just giant. You know, like Black Hole is the smallest ultimate they have.
Yeah, I feel like, and a big part of that too is the Monkey King, and obviously they're not going to set it up. Kind of surprised. We'll see if the Monkey King gets banned next game, if there is going to be one. It's still very early on here, keep in mind. King RD walking up. Overgrowth not available. He used it to get out bottom. Legion back up in 15, and again, Jerax being sneaky behind enemy lines in the trees. I don't believe they see him yet. No,
they don't even have the Slark this time to like tip them off either. So Jerax having a little bit of an easier game.
Yeah, that was one of the
you see Cat, he's just cutting random trees. He's like, where is this guy?
That's a courier, and that's an Eagle Song. Well, that's rough. Blank Duel comes out. The Force was in time to get him at least a little bit further away. Tavo, I think they need to cut their retreat here. Adaptive Strike, a lot of damage onto Ana, but it's just not enough, and Tavo will fall first and foremost. Searing Chain Sled if this came out, but there's no fault. Remnant's coming through. He wants Ana. Static Storm comes out. The Sanities as well. They were ready for it. They knew they were going to get greedy, and now they're going to look for more. Cat gets glimpsed back. Living Armor is there, but I believe he will fall. Tegu Mastery stack starting to pile up, and again, perfect timing from OG. Absolutely stellar here in the second game, Trent.
They almost lost the Morphling too because the net came out and popped the Lincolns as well, so there was the possibility of the glimpse there as well. But I think he just got out of vision, so they went
even though they lost the courier, and that was the full Ethereal Blade. I thought it was just the Eagle Song, but it was the full Ethereal Blade coming out from the Morphling. So yeah, I'm surprised.
Very, very tough. I mean, that is a huge timing item for your hero. You want to get that up and immediately. Like we're working with again Duel and Ember Spirit, so we have insane bursts right now on the side of SG Esports, but if you're just going to get your courier denied like that and then just going a little bit too deep, we have that save from the OD, so you're forced to go on him, and everyone there is just nearby ready to help. And how about the fact that Ana stole so much int there that when he tried to go in for that play post-Astral from 40 yards, just got absolutely blown up from the Sanities.
I mean, they used a lot there, to be fair. I mean, there were some abilities thrown out, and geez, did he die quickly, so...
And I'm just like checking Jerax to see how close he's to Solar Crest, and he's 800 gold in towards the Shadow Blade. Like, this guy is just, he's so far. He's almost tied to the Legion Commander at this point. So Roche is just an option for them. Pretty much at any point that they have Song available, they can just head there.
Yeah, well,
No tail got going for him. Anything towards nothing towards the Manta quite yet. He's got that energy booster saved up, so he's got his bots. He's holding on to that. Post Arcanes for your Octarine core. Pretty nice little build for the hero.
I think a big thing about this draft for SG is when they're fighting, it's them getting picked or them getting picks, and they don't quite have like they're getting jumped on, so they maybe can't get the global silence off, or it doesn't even matter because they're already jumped on by too many heroes. So the global silence has not been as impactful, I think, as they might have liked it. We'll see if that could turn things around later on in the game, but
man, and King RD has been holding this minus recipe for so long, it's getting depressing.
Yeah, it's
like,
not fun.
He had this before he died up in that dire jungle.
He's...
This is the sad life, dude. Okay, not bad, though. He doesn't have a Quelling Blade, does he? No, he doesn't.
He gets the bash off. The waveform comes out as well. The Overgrowth to come through, the Wukong's command, and I think they might need to stop. Static Storm does miss, but King RD's still getting chased down. They can't quite find Jerax again. It looks like OG are going to be able to take at least the beginning stages of this fight as King RD gets dropped. And they just couldn't quite find that tree break. Now the Gloom's back in. HFN in some trouble. There's the Global Silence to come out, but look at the damage that they are doing to HFN right now. He'll be able to waveform through. Sandy's comes out.
All their mana's gone.
And they've got the Song to set more up here as well. Potentially looking for ADR. They've got the Black Hole. Blink out just in time. S4 is a little bit too late. Blink from 40R. That is at least the one good thing.
It was free.
It was. It was. But it happens.
He had no mana.
That's rough. But they got everything else they wanted.
They did. It's still very good, but that is... It's a little, that's a little bit of a... Laugh that one off, I'm sure, from S4 right now. Yeah. It's like, well, it happens, guys.
It happens.
That's just some Dota, too. Correct. But you just see it there, though. The area. Like, you think you have this advantage. You have the vision. You're fighting in this tree line, and suddenly there's a Monkey King ulti, and then there's this black hole, and
they came from there, essentially.
The Midnight Pulse.
They will get Fly at the very least. Meanwhile, on the other side, they will take down Tabo. Gets himself caught. Rough stuff. In terms of the 1-for-1 trade, it's obviously more favorable for OG, but at this point, Trent, we're sitting at about a 15,000 net worth advantage almost for OG. I mean, what do they need to do to start knocking down these towers, take objectives? I mean, Roshan, obviously one of the big factors here for OG if they want to go for it, but when do they start making moves here again?
Yeah, more than likely they'll be just slipping in towards the Roche. I mean, even that was a pretty big pick towards it. It's just you're on the opposite side of the map, so it's a little bit difficult to transition into it. And then even if you have the Aegis, maybe you're not feeling like you can do too much. Like, they could probably take down this tier 1 without it. You don't really want to have to waste your Aegis time on it, perhaps, but is that going to be worth the risk of fighting inside the pit? Just because there are some things to worry about, the global silence, the entangle and stuff, so if they can knock out one of those heroes or force out a bad global ulti while actually being near the pit, we could just see them run on in. But No Tail, he's also just not quite at his capacity yet. The Manta Style just delivering the recipe now on the Courier here, so that ups his power quite a bit. And what about our Treant? He does have his Midas going, and we have the other Midas here for the Silencer.
As soon as he got an Midas to creep down bottom, and just immediately left. He's like, I don't want to be here. Also, oh my god, that damage from the Hurricane Spike from the OD was insane. Yeah, and the bombs coming through, if you will.
Probably gonna try and smoke up with the Ethereal Blade soon, I guess, if you're the Radiant side. Kill's definitely the way back in it for this one, but Naga Siren, the least likely one for you to track down. They'll have to try and focus their efforts on someone else.
And this certainly seems like how game 1 should have gone if you looked at just straight up the favorites in this tournament. SG coming in as the underdogs from South America. Of course, both team plays fantastically. You don't want to take anything away from SG in game 1 because I think they did play extraordinarily well. Not that OG played bad or anything at all. So, but this one in game 2, the draft, it seems to be working for OG. They're slowing the game down. They're getting what they need to. It's sort of that slow defensive style that OG are known for, and they are putting in some serious work with it. They're finding aggression. ADR not expected to get jumped on. The ensnare is there. Or they just will blow him up. I mean, the Arcane Orbs are doing more than enough damage. And now with that, they'll transition right into pushing into a tier 3 tower. So just like that, Trent, be in some trouble here for SG as they have no buyback on the Ember Spirit either.
Yeah, and everything's ready. Like, this is just, you can go kind of fearless in terms of your objective choice here for OG. You have the Song to back yourself up. The only thing you really have to worry about is the global.
Well then. Tier 2 tower taken. Tier 1 tower is going to get pushed into as well by Jerax. Speaking of which, what does he have? Solar Crest now building into the Shadow Blade as we had seen in the previous game. Other items coming out. Good stuff. Fly building into a Midas should have it just about now.
Wow. Not the most common fly item.
No, I don't think so. But given the way this game is going, I don't think it's a bad idea. And we've seen what Midas disruptors could do, Trent.
We've had a couple of those games, man. The refresher comes out, and it's like, yo.
The Ags refresher, I think it was. It's just, oh my god, it does so much work. And especially in this game, too. But
yeah, you see this Ember going BKB, and you're just like, all right, perfect. Get myself an Aghanim Scepter, and he'll have no answers left for me. So Morphling picking one up as well. The double defensive build, certainly a requirement.
So we actually haven't seen the Ethereal Blade. As previously mentioned, the Courier came out, did some serious, or rather it got killed by JRX, did some serious work. He does have the Ethereal Blade now, so both of those items are going to make their debut if there is a fight that breaks out.
Yeah, we really need a second duel win here for Tavo. Like,
yeah, man.
It's getting brutal at this point.
You're right, and it's something we sort of mentioned earlier, but like 14 duel damage, only one duel at 30 minutes into the game. I think it was actually maybe 2 actually, but still. 1 win, 1 loss. It's not great for top of this game.
No, you lose that momentum on this hero, and that's where she becomes losing commander, right? Like, this hero is one of those ones that's very polarizing in terms of viewing, where you're just like, what is this thing even doing? Like, what has Legion done for the past 20 minutes? And it feels like nothing. But then there's other games where she has like 180 dual damage at this point or something stupid.
Right.
You know?
It's not indicative of the hero. Just a rough game for Tavo. I mean, that tri lane from the get-go was rough, and he did a good job coming back. Meanwhile, HFN bound the strike, Sanities, and see you later. It's just not, it's not really fair, is it? Huh?
What can you do, man? OD Dota. He's so rich right now, though. I mean, yes, he's less net worth than a Morphling, but he is a pretty damn good counter, so can maybe questionable a little bit. Picking him into an OD, no question there, but thought they could outplay it for sure on the side of SG Esports. So far, not so good, but they're into the Roche Pit, and this is the time to get it. You know, you have knocked down that top tower. You have some tougher objectives left in the Tier 2 top, as well as the Tier 3, so this is when you want that second life. And again, they're doing it with pretty much everything available. They've lost the Sanities, but you can't really contest with Song and Black Hole up.
No, absolutely not. Now, show me, while we've got some time here, let me ask you a question.
I'm ready.
Is Jirax going to get Monkey King next game? That's the main question.
I don't know. I didn't think he'd get it the second game, so...
Yeah, me neither.
Well, then again, I didn't think he'd get it the first game, so... Who knows? They seem to be somewhat comfortable against this hero.
Well, I guess it's the lesser of two evils, because, I mean, I guess there is the Earth Spirit. It hasn't been picked or banned so far yet in this series, and it might not... It suddenly might fall off, and they might not pick it at all. But I feel like, giving away the Earth Spirit, maybe they feel more comfortable playing against that, if that is what's going to be picked.
I'd ban the Mud King. I think he's too good at zoning. Like, at least Earth Spirit, like, he can't solo zone out a Legion Commander, right? The hero maybe has better team fight and the silence and stuff, but look at this again, that reach. It's all about the range.
He does get the BKB off in time. The Song will go through, and they're going to try to isolate HFN. Good Adaptive Strike to come out, does a lot of damage to JRX. Black Hole on the back line's coming in. He's caught too, but good Sleight of Fist Searing Chains coming out from ADR. The Global is there, but they're still also low. They're going to lose Cap first. Adaptive Strike comes out. Now blinking in the Glimpse back as well. The duel comes out. They'll find at least the Aegis, but also going down as the Morphling King or D will fall on the back lines on top of it. And really, OG just looking like a bunch of tyrants running in, disposing of bodies left and right. And so far, it's all looked pretty simple for them in this game, too.
Yep, it's Illusion Hero, OG Draft. I mean, they've done this a couple times. I may have seen this one before. Anna in here did pretty deep without the Aegis this time, but they can't even do anything.
Like, he is in, and I don't think they can turn. Anna is so fine right now.
Song is up again, Octarine Core, XD.
Static Storm, he's got it if he wants to use it, and he will. And now ADR's caught, dead. He's got buyback, and he'll need to use it if they want to keep hold of this Tier 3 at least. But it's not looking great, friend.
No.
Not for SG.
And maybe it's just like the good answers from OG in terms of Legion Commander, right? Because Legion, much like the Enigma you see diving really deep because he can black hole the silencer as they jump on Legion Commander.
Anna is in. The Sanities does some serious work. They find the stun onto King RD. He'll fall as well, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 5 heroes are dead. And that's it.
Yeah.
GG is called. Man, OG looking dominant in game number 2, Trent.
Yeah, certainly putting themselves back on what we expected in terms of this matchup, but if it all comes down to the draft and just the way they neutered this Legion Commander. Like, how do you get duel wins when if you don't duel the OD, then he's just going to astral whoever you duel? So you have to duel the OD, basically, at this point. But then there's the Song you have to worry about.